懈怠。
After the first championship, and you several years later, you had an injury with the fourth metacarpal bone in your right hand.
Yeah.
And then you began trying to practice yourself to throw the ball with your left hand.
Yes.
And it was reported that you practiced during that summer 100,000 times.
Yeah. I worked really, really hard that summer.
A beautiful summer.
Yeah.
And you can go out for vacation.
Right.
But you chose to do the practice.
Yeah. That's what's fun to me. I enjoy doing that. I mean, obviously, I enjoy going to the beach too. And you can still do both. But I worked extremely hard. My left hand was something that I felt like I could get better at. My right hand I couldn't use because it was broke. I said, let me work on my left. So.
You're not left-handed?
No.
No.
I can't write with my left hand. I can shoot though. I can shoot.
But was that injury actually? Before that, you didn't shoot with your left hand?
No, I could, but it wasn't as consistent. Like it wasn't something that I could, during a game, at the last second, I didn't feel confident enough to be able to take a left-hand shot. Now I do.
Gradually, you need to practice. I mean, to train.
Right.
To practice. And I know that actually, it's an open secret that you train yourself very hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes bitterly.
Yeah.
Some people say that if Everson started to play after dawn, you play before the dawn.
Absolutely. Well, but I enjoy doing it though. I love practice. I love, the thrill of seeing improvement and getting better. That just excites me.
Throwing a ball, what is the secret? It's more technical, Kobe. It's a kind of the balance or the control of your wrist.
My father once explained it to me when I think I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I was asking him all of these questions about the proper technique to shoot, because they say your elbow should be, should look like an L, and then your wrist should be cocked back here, and then you have to follow through like that. So I'm asking my father all these things, and he's looking at me, and he goes, "You know what, son? Just shoot however you feel comfortable." He said the object is to make the shot. So if you feel comfortable,
professional.
Yeah, I mean that's what
you have illustrated.
Yeah, I try, but my father just explained to me. He said, if you're comfortable shooting the ball, that's what matters the most. You want to be comfortable, and so once he explained that to me, then that's how I shoot is just however comfortable I feel. So.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Hundreds of thousands of Chinese children, they are kids, they are playing basketball, and they teachers, they coaches would show them kind of illustrate.
Oh, sure.
And say, okay, you have to do this L, and then do it at what?
You wind up thinking too much. I mean, if you're in the game and you're shooting the ball and all of a sudden you look at your arm and your arm is like this instead of being like this, it might mess you up, you know what I mean? So it's just,
right.
however you're comfortable, you should just be able to shoot it. So, I practice all different kinds of shots. I practice shots here, I practice shots back here, I'll practice shots over here.
And you feel yourself.
Well, yeah, because during the game you never know what might happen. You might have to take a shot with 2 seconds left, where you're like leaning back here like this,
See if it is an L.
Right. And sometimes the L's more like an O, you know what I mean? So you just have to be comfortable and confident that you'll make those shots.
I see. Some people say the year from 2005 and 2006 was very important. Were very important because people call that was your kind of a crossroad for your career, because in 2006. You got the very famous 81. You did it intentionally?
No, it's
you wanna surpass the Chamberlain, right?
You know what? I don't think it's something that anybody in their wildest dreams thinks about, scoring that many points. It just happened. It just happened, and it's I can't explain it. It was just one of those nights.
I see.
如今成长后的科比已经不仅仅是一位伟大的球员，他还是 NBA 一个成熟的领袖。2009年6月14号奥兰多安利中心的比赛充分说明了这一点。 科比怀抱2座奖杯，脸上洋溢的满足笑容留在了很多球迷的心中。时隔7年，湖人队再次登上总冠军宝座，科比的手上第4次戴上总冠军戒指，这也是他第1次在没有大鲨鱼奥尼尔的情况下率领球队夺得胜利。科比向世人证明他已经足够强大，足以挑起球队的大梁。虽然曾经3次和奥尼尔携手捧回总冠军的奖杯，但那时科比并不像现在这样放松和满足。作为领袖，科比有一个独特的性格，那就是他只要相信一件事，就会全力以赴，用自己的努力让这件事实现。为了球队的团结和组织更好的进攻，他甚至向烈士的杀人鲸学习，并向队员们传授经验。
Well, it was reported, correct me if I'm wrong, it was reported that you read a story about the orca whales after reading about the pack hunting mentality.
Oh, yeah.
And you just jump onto a helicopter. I went to the Pacific Ocean to watch how they do the pack hunting.
Yeah, I've researched that. I've studied that. I think it's reason why it was. Yeah, because I was very curious about it because, you know, as a team.
Anything to do with basketball?
Everything to do with basketball because as a team, you know, when you have to hunt as a group. So you can't have a team and then have one player doing this thing over here, another player doing this thing over here. You know, you do that, but it all falls into, you know, the same strategy. You know, so we're all working as a team, similar to orca whales. So.
And after watching them hunting, what did you get?
Well, that's exactly what I gathered. I mean, it was just so interesting to me to see their strategies of how they hunt. And how much teamwork is involved, and you know, it's just.
And you shared this with your teammates?
I did actually. I did. It's some of the things that I do in helping that they understand and see the picture clearly, of how do we become a better team? How do we become a championship team? We do it by working together, and that's one of the examples that I gave.
Wow, great! And after the interview, I'm going to give you a little souvenir, which can maybe, my understanding, help you to make another championship.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. That'd be great. That's great.
Now, the latest timeline, that's this year, the 14th of June, 2009. You got the 4th championship in the final, and the final MVP. What does this year's championship stand for you?
It stands at the top in terms of the championships that we've won. It's my favorite because nobody really expected us to do it. Nobody expected us to get there, and you know, here we are. So, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you guys can't do it. You know, you guys won't win." You know, it's the determination that we talked about earlier. It's having that perseverance and that endurance to say, you know, no matter what you guys say, we can do this, and that's why it's my favorite.
Well, after this year's championship, you were quoted as saying that actually you felt like